Hey, what's up guys? Last time, I shared with you my trip to Montreal. After leaving Montreal, I spent the next couple of days in Quebec City, and so today, let me share with you my experience in Canada's oldest city. If you haven't seen the video and you would like to hear about my trip to Montreal, I'll link the video in the description below. After leaving Montreal, we had another long drive to get to Quebec City, and once again, I arrived at my accommodation very late at night. The place we stayed at was another Airbnb nestled in the rural area surrounding Quebec City. It was a beautiful and comfortable home. The host was welcoming and generous, preparing breakfast for us while we were there. After breakfast, we left our accommodation to head to downtown Quebec City, which was around 25 minutes away. On the way, we passed by the famous Montmorency Falls, which were just minutes from where we were staying. As you come into the city proper, you immediately notice the classical architecture, reminiscent of old European cities. Many of the streets are narrow, some with cobblestone ways, and their slopes incredibly steep, to the point where I was afraid to park on them. Once I finally did find a place to park, I got out to start exploring the city. Hey, what's up guys? I'm in Quebec City right now, downtown Old Quebec. This is Rue Saint-Jean. And it's pretty touristy, but there's a lot of cool stuff to see, and I'm just gonna go around, check it out, see if I can get some good food. Weather's not that great, but at least it's not raining right now. I have to say that downtown Quebec City is unbelievably picturesque, with each street and alley presenting a perfect photo opportunity. One of the things I noticed while exploring Quebec was the wealth of street performers throughout the city. There were musicians performing in just about every section of the downtown area. After looking around the city for a bit, I was feeling a bit peckish, so we decided to go to a dessert restaurant in the city to get a snack. We ordered 2 dessert crepes. One was white flour and banana, and the other was buckwheat flour with chestnut filling. The flavor of the banana crepe was fresh and satisfying with a delectable crunch. The chestnut crepe, on the other hand, was bittersweet from the buckwheat flour and the sweet chestnut paste. I definitely recommend you try both. After eating, we went up to explore the area of the city near Chateau Frontenac. In particular, we went to see the Cathedral Holy Trinity. It was a fairly modest-looking church by all accounts, but I was impressed with the massive pipe organ inhabiting the body of the building. We left the church and went to investigate the bustling area underneath Chateau Frontenac. This area was home to quite a few memorials, including one to Samuel de Champlain and even an art piece by Salvador Dali. It was interesting that in front of the monument to Samuel de Champlain, they had a stage dedicated to street performers, with a sign indicating that the city embraced this kind of entertainment as part of its culture. It was at this point that I had noticed that there was a lower part to the city which I had not yet seen. I immediately made my way to check out this part of the city, and found a neat little walking street complete with narrow cobblestone streets known as the Quartier de Petit Champlain. There were a lot of interesting restaurants and shops in this area and was definitely a cool spot to check out, if only to take some memorable photos. It was around this time that I was starting to get hungry again and wanted to find something to eat for dinner. We ended up going to an interesting creperie to get some dinner-style crepes. The first was a crepe with braised wild boar. The crepe here was soft and fluffy, with a sweet but savory flavor. The braised boar was tender and packed with flavor. It was really nice. The other dish we ordered was a chicken, mushroom, and asparagus crepe. This one had a nice creamy sauce that went surprisingly well with the aforementioned crepe flavor. It was really quite satisfying. When we left the restaurant, it was dark and a little bit rainy, but even under these conditions, the streets of Quebec were still mesmerizing. Next, we headed to a nearby local coffee chain to get a late-night cup of coffee. Paired with a nice big biscotti, that coffee was the perfect way to round off a day in Quebec. And with that, my trip to Montreal and Quebec comes to an end. All in all, it was a very worthwhile trip. It was an eye-opening experience, and sometimes I even felt like I was in a different world inside my own country. Both Montreal and Quebec are overflowing with history that you can see and feel around you. It is really quite romantic. If you've never traveled to that part of Canada, I would highly recommend. You won't regret it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope this inspires you to go traveling yourself. Please thumbs up this video if you liked it, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. I hope to see you next time. Bye!
Sunshine when she's gone. It's not one when she's away. This ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long.